Hello, I think, is that working? Hang on. Yeah, it's working. So I just started it. I started it recording and I didn't see if it actually started, but it has. It has. So, yeah, back to the grindstone. Back to the coalface. For another set of Q&A videos, answers. Before I start, pertaining to the last batch, I just want to show you this. my failed attempt at humour. That's proof that wasn't actually my arse, just in case anybody was wondering. It's see, there you go, look, it's a fake arse in some stripy pants. Don't know why I thought it would be funny, but they were bought for me by my friends on my 22nd birthday. They thought it would be funny, and they thought I would walk around in it, and I've still got it. I was thinking of doing, I did the Great North Run a few years ago, and I was thinking of doing the Great North Run in these, but I'm glad I didn't, to be honest. So I think these are that video will be the last time these will ever see the light of day, because I think it failed. It failed quite dramatically. So let's get rid of those. And something I meant to mention in the beginning of the first video was I wanted to say something about my username. I don't really refer to it much. It's pronounced LeBossu77. To be honest, to me it feels like a nickname I've given myself, and you shouldn't. No one should give themselves nicknames. There's a few kids at school who did that, and no one ever refers. You can't give yourself a nickname, can you? But that's what it feels like with my username. And I started my channel before I even contemplated making my own videos. So I'm now, maybe I thought maybe I should have started afresh when I decided to make my own videos, but I didn't think I'd be around this long, or so I've not really got an opportunity to change the name. But I just want to show you this. This is the film I was watching when I first started my YouTube account. There you go, Le Bossu. It's I think that is French for the Hunchback. So in English, my username would be the Hunchback77. But it's a really good film. It was a film. My cat's just coming. Go away. It's a really good film. It's a film I was watching when I first set up my YouTube account. And you know how your brain freezes, and then this was the first thing that came to mind. And well, I'm slightly uncomfortable with it now because it sounds a bit poncy. But it's not as poncy as it looks. It's sort of like it's a French equivalent of the Count of Monte Cristo. Three Musketeers, you know, the old Three Musketeers films with Oliver Reed. It's a bit like that, sort of knockabout. You know, the sort of films I refer to as knockabout. That's what this is. It's like Count of Monte Cristo, very similar storyline, but it's knockabout. It's jolly, and it's not as poncy as it looks. It's Le Bossu, and very good, very good film. So that's it. Yeah. Back to the questions. The last batch, I was getting a dry mouth because I was talking, rabbiting on for about an hour. And I was getting a bit hoarse. So, like most people, a lot of people do, I've got myself a drink. I mean, I've never really. A lot of people do that, take a drink on short videos. I don't know why that is, because I've never felt the need to take a drink. But I mean, I'm not criticising it, but you know, by any stretch of the imagination. But now I sort of get it with a longer video because I was getting, like I said, I was getting hoarse. So back to the old cues. I think the last one I did was the Fatal Hybrid, wasn't it? So I'll be burping now with this. Apologies in advance. This is the first question from Fire, I think it's Fire Legend. What is your favourite type of weather? My favourite type of weather, it depends where I am, really. Cold weather is easier. The thing is with cold weather, it's easier to get warm with cold weather than it is with hot weather to get cool. So in that sense, I prefer cold weather over warm weather. It depends where I am. I mean, when it's hot you don't want to do anything, but sometimes you have to. So normally it's better to have hot weather when you're on holiday and you've got nothing to do. Because you don't want to be like traipsing around when it's boiling hot and you end up sweating like a, you know, something proverbial. But I mean, it's undeniable that warm weather, sunny weather does lift your spirits, and so in that sense it's a no-brainer. But I'm thinking practically. I'm thinking I'm sort of disregard all notions of romance, you know, and lovely weather. I'm talking practical, purely practically, cold weather. Although snow, it's nice to start off with, but I think this last winter told us that it's nice to start off with, but snow after a while, it just doesn't do it for you, does it? Although what was I going to say? Totally lost my train of thought. No, gone. Oh. So, I don't know, did I actually give an answer there? I think I sort of explained vaguely. Don't know. But thanks for Legend for the questions. Sorry. And next one, Adfot1 over in Australia. Australia. Oh no, I won't say that. Idiots. Me, I'm the idiot. These questions, a couple of jolly ones here. What got you into the YouTube gaming community? Like I said, it was just, I think it was to do with, initially, it was to do with me wanting to go to car boot sales and just looking up car boot sale videos on YouTube and finding certain people that go to car boot sales and they put up car boot sale videos and showing what they bought. And it seemed initially, I can't deny it seemed a strange thing. To a newcomer, it seemed quite odd to see people showing what they bought. But now it makes absolute sense, because it seemed odd at the time, but it was still a nice watch. I think it's to do with when you see someone buying something good and getting a bargain, it shows what's possible, and so then you relate that to yourself. So then you go out and you want to replicate what they've got, but in practice that's obviously not doesn't work like that, does it? Because all the good stuff you have to dig around for through the filth, don't you? But yeah, so I saw these people doing all this and it looked like a friendly community, and I thought, yeah, why not? I'd like to do that. I mean, I buy video games, and these look like sort of a friendly bunch, my sort of people. You know, we're all doing the same thing. I mean, why do we all have to sort of sit individually on our own and not communicating? Because we're all like-minded people. So it seemed like a logical progression to go from that into making videos. Although I did think hard about making videos, because I mean there are certain downsides, like sort of continuing to make videos. I mean, how easy would it be to stop making videos and things like that? Number 2, what's your opinion on facial hair? Well, personally, my own facial hair comes and goes, but that's purely down to my own laziness. I've got quite a baby face. I'm 34, but I've got quite a baby face, and I think it's just being self-conscious. I don't want to look like a little kid. Although I've noticed, you might have known, I don't know, I don't think people really take any notice, but match to me, I let my beard grow, but I've noticed this side, like down my neck, it doesn't grow there. So it looks like I'm one of those idiots who cultivates and like trims their beard like really closely. I'm not, because it grows that side, but not that side. It's just like, you know, like a sort of Craig David who like sort of trims his beard so it like It's really like a thin line. I don't do that sort of thing. I just let it grow so I'm like stick of the dump to the point where it's uncomfortable. I've never gone beyond the itchy, uncomfortable stage. But one day I might. Although, I don't know. Apparently, my beard's ginger. I'm not proper ginger, but my beard is. It's red, pink almost. It's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing, but it's sort of like a two-tone effect. Did I answer that properly? I don't know. But good question. Silly USA platform was a weird Japanese RPG. Well, it's got to be weird Japanese RPGs. The weirder the better. The weirdest being Shadow Hearts. I like all the weird stuff, the idiosyncrasies in RPGs. Platformers do have their place. Obviously, I like platformers. It's just my natural taste. I gravitate towards RPGs. I mean, it's not always something I can explain, but I do like the sort of the weird idiosyncrasies, the sort of the cultural things, the specific sense of humour that you get in Japanese games and RPGs and stuff like that. And although I do like the fact that they make very little sense, that appeals to me. But I think generally in RPGs, as long as you put the time in, you'll never fail to beat it, and that's what appeals to me as well. So it'd have to be weird Japanese RPGs. And finally, his last question, I like cardigans. Top man. So do you, yeah. Are you mocked? No, I'm not. This is around our way, cardigans are quite trendy. I used to be. I think I might have milked it a bit. I do need to get some more. I have sort of worn a few. My grey one used to be quite small, and I've worn it, and it's gone all like baggy and stretchy, and it looks like an old man's cardigan. But maybe, I mean, are you mocked? Sort of, do Australians mock cardigan wearers? Is it like wearing a tank top or something? I don't know. Well, I like cardigans, and I don't get mocked. I mean, people would get a sort of swift backhand if they did. They wouldn't try it. They wouldn't try it. So it's practical. You know, being a bit old. You know, as you get older, you start feeling chills. So you need something to put on. It's just more practical to have the open bit, so you don't have to like pull it up over your head. Mess your hair up. Well, obviously, it doesn't make much difference to me because I've got shit hair anyway. But then you sort of, when you pull something over your hair, you sort of slightly disorientate to start off with. Anyway, so I'm saving myself that hassle. But also, getting a bit older, when you pull stuff up over your head, and you have to really lift your arms up, you should show a bit of beer gut, a bit of longshore drift. Having a cardigan like that, you just pop it off the back, and you don't have any of those hassles. But also, they're really stylish as well. So anybody, I'll just say that to anybody who decided they wanted to take piss. So I hope that answered your questions. And I feel sorry for you if people do mock you over in Australia. Just give them peace of mind. Thanks for the questions, mates. Bedtime 1 for 3. Afternoon. If Kurt Cobain is God, who is the devil? There's certain obvious choices here, but they all have their place. They all have their place. The devil, I mean, like they're all like massive pop stars. Not my sort of music. But, I mean, as long as they have sort of integrity, they perform a service, they fulfil a role. But then there are certain pop stars that just do the same tired old act over and over again, and people lap it up. I'm talking specifically, who is it? I've forgotten the names. Westlife. That whole rising up off the stool thing. How can you trot that out over and over and over again? and it's still, people still believe that it's fresh. It's cheesy and hammy, and just, that frustrates me. Why the fuck do people buy into it? And that Louis Walsh is a tit, isn't he? Go on, get angry. So I'd say it'd have to be Louis Walsh, because he seems to have all those, his finger in all those pies. Formulaic, horrible pies. I mean, people like Lady Gaga, she's obviously mad as a box of frogs, but she fulfills a role. And she's got more integrity than those numbskulls. Apologies to any Westlife fans out there, but if you are watching, why? Getting a bit itchy. Go back in time and go forward into the future. Well, I did actually find out, because time travel is theoretically possible, but I can't remember which direction it is, but time travel is theoretically possible, but only possible in one direction. I think time travel is theoretically possible backwards. I don't think it's actually impossible that time travel will ever be invented. We can go forwards, because that goes against the laws of physics. But if it was ever possible, I'd like to go forwards, because that's more adventurous. Going backwards, I mean, you have a certain knowledge of it anyway, don't you? But also then you could never change. If you went backwards, you could change the future, but if you went forwards, you can't change the past, can you? I'm confusing myself. On dangerous ground there, I could easily just confuse myself, and then I already have. But I'd go forwards, I think. Although I do like, anyone ever seen the film Time Bandits? Love it, brilliant film. Oh, you're so. It's that John Cleese bit when he's playing Robin Hood. Oh, someone will remind me. If you were a musical instrument, which one would you be? I'd like to say I'd be an electric guitar. I'd probably be a triangle or something. Simple. A sax, cheesy. A bassoon. I'd be one of them. No, I wouldn't be one of them big drums. This is a really good question. I always have to, when I ask questions like this, I always have to think what perspective I'm going to answer it. Because I could say something like a Caribbean sort of kettle drum, not kettle drum, you know, a steel drum. But then, why would that be me? Because I'm not Caribbean. So if I'm answering on those grounds, that means I'd have to limit myself to English musical instruments, which are things like trumpets. I'd be compromise. I'd be an acoustic guitar. There you go. I couldn't say why. Cheers, bedtime 143.